I want to do a podcast about films.
I'm jacked.
No, with you. You what?
I'm jacked to the tits.
Good.
You feel it?
No. Hello and welcome to Movie the Needle, a podcast where a pair of amateurs haphazardly dissect a film that one of us likes and one, well, not so much. My name's Simon, and I'm in our shed with my good friend Carl, where we'll be explaining our opposing viewpoints and seeing whether we can movie the needle for one another. This week, Adam McKay directs an all-star cast as we enter the thrilling world of the United States housing bubble, which, spoiler alert, caused a global financial crisis in 2008. Subprime mortgages and synthetic collateralized debt obligations ensue. It's The Big Short.
Right, I know I'll be the main culprit, but we need to get through this chit chat because I need a beer. I am parched.
I know, yeah. Let's crack on. It's been lovely weather.
It's been lovely weather.
Yep. And we've just filled our face with nuts.
Yeah.
So shout out to my wife Emma, who provided us with lots of nuts. I mean, she literally commented, please don't eat nuts on the podcast again because it sounds awful, and then provided us with all these nuts.
Yep.
So it feels like a test that we are going to fail. So I guess an advanced apology for everyone if we hear this on...
Yeah, well, it'd be your wife's fault. That's what we're saying, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, sure. I think she's...
Speaking of wives, my wife is away.
She is.
Now, I've excelled as a husband in her absence.
Have you, though?
Mate, I've got her a shrubbery.
No, you've actually bought her a
I've got her a shrubbery. Yeah. So she's going to come back, not having to ask. And I've got a shrubbery. I might have excelled as a husband. I have failed as a father, though.
Oh, well, that's fine. You know.
I mean, I've just about managed to feed the kids. Not so much myself. Again, I've been sticking mainly to fermented malts. But no, not on that front. I failed as a father because my eldest last night is having a bit of a tough time. She was getting ready for a Taylor Swift thing that she's went to today, and they have this like tradition where you make these wristbands and like swap them or whatever.
All right.
So she's threading all these beads on a thing, and she came downstairs in tears, really distraught, like her makeup smudged all over her face. And I was like, what's the matter? She's just like, I just can't tie this up. So I'm like, don't worry about it. Just set it down there. I'll tie it up for you. I'll sort it out. And as we're getting ready to go to the thing today, I just can't do it. I'm all over the place. I can't do it. And it's falling apart. And I'm like, "Ugh!" And I've completely lost it.
In tears, makeup all over your face.
all over the place. Yeah. It's just, yeah. You're just going to have to go without it. She was like, you said you could do it. I was like, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So yeah, that was funny. But there we go. So she had a nice time. That's all that counts. Yeah. Films then.
Yeah, you've been watching much?
I have watched 5 films this week.
5.
Not including The Big Short.
Yeah, I've watched 3, not including The Big Short. The first of which was Sinners, which check out an episode in our feed that we will have just recorded, and it will be out in the week prior to this one. Well worth a watch. Spoiler alert. Just go get to it if you haven't already, and then listen to the episode because it's spoilerific. What else have you been watching, Carl?
I've watched a film called Only Angels Have Wings.
Yeah, that sounds like Angels with Dirty Faces or something.
Oh, well, I mean, it's Howard Hawks. It's in that sort of time frame. So you'd have hated it because it's in black and white.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Cary Grant, 1939.
Never heard of him.
Very, very good. Very, very good. Enjoyed that a lot. Yeah.
Feels like you could do a separate podcast just talking about old films no one gives a shit about. Instead of modern films no one gives a shit about, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just to mix it up. You can find someone else for that, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have to, won't I? It's like if you ever did a Marvel podcast.
Oh, speaking of which, I watched Captain America Civil War to continue on Theo's MCU journey. It's all he's interested in watching right now.
Yeah, and we know why that is, don't we?
It's really good, though. It is one of the best ones.
Okay, if you say so.
Did enjoy it a lot.
I'll never watch it. I did watch The Aviator.
Oh, okay. What did you think of The Aviator?
Yeah, very good. Very, very good.
I saw it at cinema back when it was released, which is early 2000s?
Yeah,
no,
2004.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. I think it was the first time for me. I think I might have seen bits and pieces
Well,
of
it's got Leo, it's Scorsese. I mean, you must be loving it.
Yeah. So, if you are ambivalent or below, we could do that one on the podcast.
I would have to rewatch it. I think I couldn't. I don't think I could form an opinion based on that sketchy
Fair enough.
memory that I have. I just remember him drinking his own piss or something. Keeping jars of piss.
He does keep
like
jars
that.
of piss, yeah.
He may not have drunk it. I may have made that up.
Yeah. Careful, hot piss chat, remember, is not on trend.
Oh, yeah, what were we meant to be
past
talking about again?
Elbow deep in shit, cleaning out your toilets, that sort of thing.
That was it, right.
Yeah.
So have you been elbow deep in any shit films?
I'm afraid, nice. Well, we watched Minecraft this morning.
Did you? Oh, and?
I didn't like it.
Did the kids like it?
Kids liked it.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
kids liked
the main
it.
thing. That reflects most of the opinions that I've heard. That
Yeah.
kids love it. Adults, meh.
Yeah. I'll say it doesn't overplay its hand. It's nice and short. So that's good.
Yeah.
But yeah, kids liked it. So there we go. Job done, I suppose. And the only other film I've watched besides those is Rear Window. It was a rewatch.
Oh yeah, I've watched that. I like that.
I'm
assuming
That's an old film, though.
Yeah. I do.
It's in colour. It's in colour, though, isn't it?
that's
So you can get on with
and
it.
plus, there's a Simpsons episode
There
that
is.
parodies it. So parodies it? Probably not parody, is it? What would you
Like
call
an
it?
homage. I don't know.
Yeah. Or homage if you're what's his name? The guy podcast. Kermode.
All right. Is that what he says?
He says homage.
Is
Yeah,
it? Fair enough.
I think. The only other one I've seen is, and this was following our Moulin Rouge episode, where I was said, "Oh, Ewan McGregor. I've actually seen a lot of the stuff that he's done." So I thought I'll pick a Ewan McGregor film last night, nice and short. Wasn't actually that short. Down with Love with Renée Zellweger.
Oh, God.
I
Catch a block.
was. Yes, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Long time
nice.
ago.
I was not in the right mood for this film. I was quite grumpy.
Yeah. It'd make you even crosser.
It was. Yeah, I reckon I could have had a good time with it if I was in the right frame of mind. But I was kind of just like, Emma was chuckling to some of it alongside me, and I was just like, I refuse.
No. It's up there with Hairspray, that, for just how, like...
It knew what it was
horrible it
doing.
is.
It knew it was
No.
consistent with what it was doing. I can't say I had a great
No.
time.
Terrible business. Do you want to talk a little bit about some format changes quickly?
Go for it. You can do it because you told me twice, and I still can't
Okay,
remember,
yeah.
so-
What was it you said to me? It's like, I do
I
listen.
do listen. I'm just bad at remembering.
Yeah.
I don't remember good.
I don't remember good. Yeah, I don't remember good. I like that. So, the data section,
Yeah,
Gone.
It's gone.
it's not really gone. We're just moving it.
Relocated.
Yeah,
Rehoused.
It'll show up elsewhere.
Yeah.
Watch this space. We're going to try actually do some data-y things with it as well at some point. So,
Oh, yeah. No.
and also to allow a little bit of time to actually garner some feedback. The corrections, apologies, that sort of thing, again, gone and will reappear elsewhere. So hopefully we can streamline this a little bit.
So you can look out and look forward to a kind of end of month little retrospective that we're going to get. So each of the episodes that have been covered in that month will kind of cover the data parts of that, any feedback, corrections, or just reflections that we might have had since we recorded that episode and since they've played that we want to cover. So it's all still there. It's just slightly repackaged.
Indeed.
And we'll see how that goes. We might go back to the same way.
Yes.
It was. People go, I can't be dealing with these shorter episodes. Give me the 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
goddammit."
it's like I really missed that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, that leads us on, Carl, in our new format to our favourite part of the day, to unveil the podcast ale. And what have we got?
Right. Couldn't find a Big Short beer. So I've just picked one which I think we might like. Full Circle Brew Co. Double
Quite big.
IPA, 8%. There we go.
It's quite big. You could have got a stubby. You could have got a short one. Then you could have got quite a big one. Would have fit into the game.
Could have done all those things.
Yeah, so I have got a game for you later, which I forgot to mention, and we can do it while we're cracking this. Double IPA. Sorry, I just realised. Yeah, it's called The Big and Short of It.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we can you can have it's a little higher or lower game, which is nice and simple.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Something you've excelled at in the past, and you shouldn't get too grumpy with it.
After last week's debacle.
Okay, let's get to introducing today's film, which is, of course, The Big Short. But first, before we get to our general impressions of the film, a reminder of our simple 5-point scale. We either really like it, we like it, we're ambivalent, we don't like it, or we really don't like it. So, Carl, where are you on the scale today?
I really like it.
He really likes it.
Mm.
Well, Carl, on my 3D scale,
Firmly
ambivalent.
Firmly ambivalent again, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. You're ambivalent or you're not.
Exactly. Very firmly.
Definitely. Okay. Right. Fine.
So, for me, Carl, it is well acted. It's got good pacing. It is certainly competently made. I know it gets kudos for its clash of styles of comedy, drama, documentary-like elements to explain the complex concepts, but it's this clash of styles that puts me off a bit. It's like it knows it's cleverer than the audience and is almost condescending in its explanation, yet weirdly I still found it difficult to understand.
Oh, I see. You're a thicko, I get it.
Yeah. I'll be asking some questions throughout this to understand where you're coming from and understand why, if I am wrong, I am wrong. But yeah, over to you.
All right, okay. Well, I love the snappy, fast style of this movie. I think the central performances are really good. Having not been familiar with the ins and outs of the financial crash, I found it very interesting the first time I watched it. And I also really like the satire and the commentary that it makes here. Interesting you find it condescending. We'll have a discussion about that. I sort of think, because you can talk to how accurate the history of this movie is and the approach it takes, and we can discuss how well it does or doesn't manage to explain complicated things. What I think it does do really well is demonstrate just how built on bullshit the whole thing is.
Yeah.
And it gets me excitedly angry at all the right people.
Okay, let's move on to the cast. Oh, do you know what that means, Carl?
What does that mean, Simon?
That's the Sausage Fest alarm.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't know if you just noticed as I was writing this up. There's not a lot of female action.
It's Margot
going on
Robbie in a bath.
In a bath, yeah.
In a bath.
Yeah. And Selena Gomez.
Marissa Tomei, isn't it? Selena Gomez.
Marissa Tomei is also there. Yes, she is. She is.
Yeah.
Does she even need to be there?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Massive.
Love Marissa Tomei. Don't get me wrong, but yeah. But anyway, enough of that. Who would you consider the leads of this film?
I think Steve Carell.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay, well, let's lead off with Steve Carell then.
Is it Ryan Gosling?
Yeah, he plays almost a narrator as well, right? So
I mean, we touched on one thing I do like about this. It has got that sort of ensemble feel to it, and many different sort of perspectives and journeys, and obviously coming together. As I said in my opening statement, leaning into the sort of the fast, snappy style. We know, as I actually said in my opening statement, the fast, there we go. Yeah, so I don't know. Who cares? You want to talk about Steve Carell first?
Sure. Mark Baum.
He is very good at his particular brand of angry.
He seems like your kind of guy, Mark Baum.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah. I did say this film gets me excitedly angry. And he's also still got that likeable trait. He's still got a bit of humanity underneath it all, which I think Steve Carell he's very good at as well. So yeah, I think he really works.
Yeah, I think he's the standout in this in terms of performance wise, and it's funny, isn't it? Because he's kind of known for originally from his comedic chops, but actually his dramatic performances are better than his comedy ones.
Yeah, agreed.
As well. And we'll get to a top 3 Steve Carell in our end of month retrospective when we get there. But he's got fantastic hair in this. It's
There's a few dodgy haircuts in this, isn't there? I kind of like that as well. Again, of leaning into the ridiculousness of all of these people.
Yeah, but his performance as a barely holding it together, angry person at just everything that's going on, whilst also profiting off it massively, is the standout here.
Yeah.
What about Gosling then? You said maybe.
Yeah, maybe him. I think he carries a lot of this movie as well. Now, I think this could be my favourite Gosling performance.
Oh, really? It's probably one of my least favourite.
Oh, he really works as an arsehole. I am not entirely sold on nice guy Gosling a lot of the time. but he really works as an arsehole. And I mean, he's scintillating in that pitch to Balm's agency scene. He's absolutely fantastic.
With the Jenga.
Yeah, with Jenga. Yeah. Just like, fucking A, Jared, shut the fuck up. Like, he's really good. I love him here, and I think because he's the most transparent of all of these arseholes. He's on the inside, and that he's trying to profit to it, and he knows it's going to collapse. But like, he is completely unapologetic for any of this stuff. He personifies everything that's wrong with these people, and he's great at it. Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. I do kind of agree. I am a Gosling fan.
Apologist.
No,
A Gosling apologist.
I think I'm a fan. I do like him in a lot of things. Now, I love him in Crazy Stupid Love, where he essentially starts off as a bit of an arrogant arsehole, but there's a little bit of a journey that goes on there. He looks very strange with darker hair.
Yeah.
It almost uglifies him to a point. I mean, there's to a point.
Not as much as it does in Ken in Barbie.
Yes.
Platinum blonde hair.
Yeah. But yeah, his performance, I'm going to talk a lot more about the voiceover and some of the aspects that his character is doing in production. But yeah, there was something about his I know he's not meant to be a good person, don't get me wrong, but there was something that didn't quite connect with me on his performance on this one.
Well, look, I mean, so joking aside, I generally find I quite like Gosling as well. I am just slightly less comfortable in terms of buying him as that leading man, like the hero and things. I'm thinking of something like Gangster Squad. Like you say, even in Crazy Stupid Love, he's got an arc where he comes full circle and we're supposed to root for him. I just think he's so much better at this, where he's just an arsehole and you hate him all the way through. He's brilliant at it. Yeah, love it as a performance.
Okay, what about Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Michael Burry.
I think he's pretty great at this, right? Because this is a weird character, Michael Burry. Very, very strange. And you also kind of need, I'm going to say the similar sort of thing for Brad Pitt's character as well, Ben Rickett. They're kind of like, they're a bit weird, but they're like authorities that everybody's sort of looking up to. And how do you project that onto the viewers straight away? How do you put some gravitas into these characters? And I think you do it with big names, big actors, big stars. Yeah. I think that's why they've gone for those characters.
Yeah, because there's no need for Brad Pitt to be Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt especially, because I mean, Burry's not as sort of present as Baum in the story is, but he is more so. But yeah, Ben Rickett especially, very small, much smaller background character. So I think that's why they've gone for the big stars on that. So you instantly, he's got a thing about him. We're supposed to listen and respect this guy. And I really enjoy Christian Bale as this sort of awkward
he's very likable, weirdly, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's the other side of it. He needs to be. And that goes for a lot of these guys, not Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
It goes for a lot of these guys because, yes, they're profiting off it, but they are on the other side of it. And it's sort of like, if not them, then somebody's going to do it because the system has been set up to do this. It's a fucking shit show. You know, and we need to side with these guys so that we can hate the other guys in this film. You know, you take a step back and it's all fucked, isn't it? But I think they do a good job of getting that pathos. Did we settle? Which way are we going with that?
I think we'll just alternate, flip flop every.
Is there a third? Can we have a third and a brand new pronunciation?
Pathos.
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 Yeah, pathos. Yeah, so I think a lot of them are very good at creating that pathos.
Yeah.
So that we do like them, and Bale in particular, really.
So yeah, he
really
got the nod for the best supporting nomination. Didn't win out. He lost out to Mark Rylance in Bridge of Spies, I think it was.
Yeah.
At the time. Now I think it's weird on. I think he's had better performances. Like if you look at his sort of Oscar nominated ones, this wouldn't necessarily stand out, but it's a bit more subtle. It's quite subtle for him.
That's good, isn't it? It's to his credit that he hasn't overplayed it and gone, I can make this into more than it is. No, son. Just settle down.
Yeah, but he does still embody that character. You get an understanding of his flaws and eccentricities and stuff, mainly because he says what they are. But he
Honest.
is good.
He's honest, mate.
Yeah, he's good. I think I do love Christian Bale. I think I might have come to the conclusion
I really like Christian Bale too.
of this.
Yeah.
I think it's maybe popular opinion to sort of push back against Christian Bale a bit.
Because he's had a couple of those on-set moments,
those
hasn't he?
ones. Yeah. But I do really, really quite like him. I'm struggling to think of those films I've gone like, oh, he was terrible.
I think he's a very good actor. Yeah, really like him.
I think that moves on to the proper supports now then. They were like the three sort of main ones that took up majority of the screen time.
Mm-hmm.
The rest are kind of supporting actors or part of the crew. So we've talked about Jeremy Strong a few times, and I think you mentioned him in The Big Short.
Yeah.
When we were talking about, I could not remember him in this at all until he came up.
Playing Jeremy Strong?
Yes, he does play a different character in The Apprentice. Like
I don't think he does.
It's not a.
I don't think he does.
Gum chewing hard ass who's
No, I don't think he does. I think he plays the same character with a couple of ticks in The Apprentice. I think that's what he does. A couple of little affectations.
We can agree to that you're wrong. Agree to disagree. Yeah. Other supports. So I thought he was fine in this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Good.
Yeah, it's a good fit.
Rafe Spall as Danny.
Yeah,
the optimistic one.
A good flash arsehole, I've put.
There was one point where he kept on appearing in things because he's like a British guy who's kind of done good. He does appear. I can't remember the last thing I saw him in, though. He's all right. Yeah. Decent enough. Hamish Linklater as the remainder of the gang, Porter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Kept it ticking over.
The least probably showy.
Yeah, agreed.
Of those. And then we've talked about Brad Pitt already, but Brad Pitt as Ben Rickett.
Yeah.
Great little role for him, I thought. I like Brad Pitt in these kind of things where he's not necessarily the leading man. I think he can do nice little performances.
Yeah, I do, and it's similar to not overplaying it. The note for Bale and Burry. I think he does that here. And he is a bit weird. He's talking about colonic irrigation and seeds. Has he got enough seeds and all the rest of it?
He's got that effortless, like, it's not cool, but it's like geeky.
Yeah.
Just like he is completely happy with who he is.
Yeah.
He's not going to change for anyone, and you just kind of go like, yeah, fair play. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I'll come on to this in recasting. Why I think someone like Brad Pitt is a good piece of casting for this, because I think he delivers. He's got all the weirdness, and that explains why he sort of left it behind, because it doesn't really jive with him as a personality. But yet, when it's down to business, he's a killer.
Yeah,
he's going to make the trade. He's competent. He knows his shit. So he's delivering. It's a good bit of casting, I think. Good bit of acting as well.
And the last one I've got to point out is perhaps my new favourite actor. I think he might be my new seek him out in things. John Magaro.
Oh. Yeah,
Finn Wittrock, who obviously we've talked about previously, Past Lives. He is also in what's it called? The one about the Munich bombing that I saw recently. Can't remember what it's called. But we've not actually really covered him in. I don't think we've done one of his films on the podcast before.
No,
but I kind of love him. There's something about him. Man.
You're mixing two people up there because.
It's Finn Wittrock, not that one.
Finn Wittrock is the actor of the other, of his partner.
My bad.
Of his partner.
So John Magaro and Finn Wittrock. That's what I wrote in my notes, obviously.
So which one do you like? Do you like
John
Charlie
Magaro.
Geller?
I like John Magaro.
John Magaro, who's playing Charlie Geller. Yeah.
Ah, there we go. I like him.
Not Finn Wittrock, who's playing his partner, Jamie Shipley.
Yeah, he can fucking die. Don't care about him.
Whoa. There's no in between, is there? Can he not just live a quiet life somewhere?
Apparently not. No. Had 2 sips of 8% beer, that's it.
Yeah.
Death to him.
By the way,
it's nice. Bloody hell.
Easy drinking.
Yeah.
Christ.
So I'm going to seek out more John Magaro stuff. I'm going to go through his filmography.
Well, the one you're thinking of, course, is Past Lives.
I said Past Lives.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, the one I wasn't thinking of was the Munich thing.
I wasn't listening.
Which, September 11, that's the film.
Yeah, no, you're right. I like him.
Not September 11. September 9?
Yeah, whatever. You're right.
September 6.
For fuck's sake. One more time. You're right. I like him here.
Just say it again. I'm right.
Would you shut the fuck up? Right. And I really like him in Past Lives. That film really kicked into gear for me when not the focus shifts to him, But when he comes into the mix,
he's wonderful in that.
he really is. So yeah,
It's the first time
good.
I really noticed him. Although he looked familiar, it was just the first time I really took note of him. And everything I see him in now, I'm just like, oh, I like you.
Yeah, good stuff.
Marissa Tomei is also there.
Yeah.
Anyone else you wanted to call out?
Tracy Letts, who plays Lawrence Fields, the fund sort of owner, I guess. Michael Burry's boss.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just a great arsehole, as like exactly how you imagine those people to be. Mm-hmm. And he has a great scene where when he's suddenly panicking because he thinks he might lose the money, he's apoplectic. He's apoplectic with rage, but there's also a genuine bit of fear in his voice. You can find he's like, just give me my fucking money back and all this bit. I thought very, very solid. And actually, he's one of the guys when he pops up. He just has that quality of being, you are instantly dislikable, which is obviously very handy for a lot of characters. So yeah, I enjoyed his performance a lot.
It'd be good if you could use that trait that you have in a similar effective way.
Very good. What a cunt.
Yeah. Anyone else you wanted to point out?
No.
Recasting then, Carl.
I've not done loads.
I've struggled with this one because it's mainly because I think it's quite well cast.
Yeah, I agree. So I've done 4. I've done Bury, Balm, Venet, and Rickett.
Okay, go for Bury then first.
So my first thought was someone like Paul Dano comes up a lot. Right? Now, Paul Dano would be great at the outcast, weird, geeky. He's pouring over the numbers.
Yeah.
And he'd sort of get the pathos when he is still got some humanity and he essentially doesn't like what this is doing. He's just a numbers guy. It was, But can he sort of do the bit where you believe he's a serious sort of... No. I don't know, he's always pathetic, Paul Dano, to me. And that's not... Michael Burry's not pathetic. He's very honest about his shortcomings.
Yeah.
But he knows his stuff. And he's very, very angry when he thinks the system's corrupt and isn't doing what he should do. So I want someone a bit more rounded than that. So I'm thinking, we've got a couple of choices here. One's come up a lot recently, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
Or Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon, yeah, he can do that kind of, a little bit.
Yeah, shifty, socially awkward.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But also quite authoritative as well.
That's what I was missing for Paul Dano, the authoritative side of it.
That. Yeah, I quite like Michael Shannon. I think he could do. It actually looks quite similar to the real. I had a little Google of the real guy because this is one of the characters actually
does not look like Paul Dano.
Does not look like Paul Dano. I mean, he looks like he's a very in the nicest possible way, just an ordinary looking guy, right? Yeah. He's just there's nothing.
I don't know. Do you not think he had a bit of college athlete about him?
Maybe he's quite square jawed.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Square jawed. Yeah.
So Shannon could do that. He's he's quite square.
Yeah. I'd say so.
A little older, perhaps, but
he is now. But sometimes past since this.
Yeah. What year was this? I didn't actually write that down.
2015.
Okay, 10 years. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. You were initially going to go, so that's only like 2 years ago, and then you realised, no, it's the year of 2025. It
is. Yeah.
We old motherfucker.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, I like that one, Michael Shannon. Right?
Good, Michael Shannon. Yep. Let's go, Mark Baum.
Say again.
Mark Baum.
I say Baum.
Baum. Yeah, let's go Baum.
Okay, Baum. Yeah, so this is Steve Carell character.
Do you want a W in the middle there? Baum. Mark Baum. All right, so I need, again, we're talking apoplectic. I mean, if there's a word that sums...
Just under the surface rage.
Yeah. Paul Giamatti, he's got that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would you be allowed not to explode, though? Ooh,
it's tricky, isn't it?
Hold it in.
The other one I thought, it'd be, I can see him fighting for a cab. I can see him just fucking...
I love that scene, by the way. Yeah. My cab. No.
Yeah,
my cab.
Yeah.
No.
I can see him just shredding it, eviscerating people. Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, different.
He's a bit showier.
Yeah.
But he's also a bit more controlled than Giamatti. Giamatti's more prone to a breakdown, isn't he?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's kind of in the middle of those two, isn't it? It's because
Carell's is.
Yeah,
Carl's portrayal is.
he's right in the middle of those two. Yeah, I'd still pick Carell.
You would. It's a great performance. Great piece of casting. Where are you going? If you where are you, Giamatti or Tucci? Which one do you prefer?
Towards Giamatti, I would probably say.
Yeah.
It's
a good bit. Jared Vanette.
Yeah, so it's Ryan Gosling.
Now, you can go a bit cheekier. Someone like Aaron Taylor-Johnson.
Yeah.
You can go a bit flashier. Robert Downey Jr. But for pure smugness and dislikability, Glenn Powell.
Yeah, I mean, not 10 years ago, Glenn Powell, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the only thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Wasn't a thing, was he?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think he was, but he was just doing a lot smaller.
Yeah, but he can. I mean, you've seen in Top Gun Maverick, he's basically the kind of the
real
smart
kind of cunt. Yeah.
So yeah, that is definitely the place he could definitely occupy. Yeah, okay,
like that. And then Brad Pitt, Ben Rickett. I want the guy who's believable as competent, but also weird seeds, Ed Norton.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and he's a good actor, Ed Norton.
He's good at, and he also fits that sort of A-listy kind of. Yeah, brings it.
Oh, it's Ed Norton. Yeah, we should respect this guy. Yeah, got the gravitas. Yeah, there you
go. Good, well done.
Thank you.
Good effort. Well done. That didn't mean to be quite as condescending as it sounded.
Yeah, I mean, and then what was it you said earlier? Like,
I said it was almost condescending. That was full on condescending.
I think you full on called me out. You were just like, imagine if you could somehow be dislikable and make money off it. Oh no! Imagine if you could make money off your dislikability. I think was the gist, wasn't it? Yeah. I'm still recording. I'm going to press stop.
Okay, let's move on to the production. And this is directed by Adam McKay. And this was his kind of first non-comedy kind of film. It was a bit of a surprising turn for him. So he's obviously done like Anchorman, his debut film. Talladega Nights. I try that again. Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. I've not seen that. That is the only film of his that I've not seen.
It's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's
I
all
was
right.
going to watch it the other night, and I was just like, I'm not in the right mood again.
It's Will Ferrell. It's not...
It's really long.
It's not maybe as strong as the first Anchorman, but it's better than the subsequent Anchormans.
I think it's over 2 hours. It's too long.
Yeah, it's all right.
Step Brothers. What do you think of Step Brothers?
Do you know, I doubt I've ever sat and watched it from start to finish.
I just found it okay. But I know people absolutely adore that film. And he's obviously done The Other Guys.
Boats and Hose, isn't it? Boats and Hose.
Is that the one for Boats and Hose?
Boats and Hose. Quotes and Hose.
There we go. And then Anchorman 2 shouldn't have got made.
No, it should not.
And then this Vice as well. So that's another one with
Not seen it.
Carell and what's his face?
Gosling?
Nope, the other guy.
Well, which one? There's loads.
The Bale, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale. Yeah. Batman.
Yeah, Batman. That one. And then Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Don't Look Up.
Yes, disappointing.
Do you want to talk about the comparison to that now?
Go for it. Yeah. I don't have a comparison to it, but you talk about it. And
okay. I'll tell you what. Let's come back to it in plot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do that. So he was nominated for Best Director for this, but didn't win. Lost out to The Revenant.
Not seen it.
Me neither, actually. It didn't appeal on release, and since then, still not appealing.
No.
Yeah, it's just still thinking about it now. I'm just like, don't know when I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, I can't say any more than that. Like, was this a miscarriage of justice? Because I haven't seen The Revenant. So.
No. It's 2 hours 10 minutes long. This Carl,
Mm.
which I think there's a lot to tell here. It's an acceptable length. It's quite a dense material. You need that running time to tell the story. There's a lot going on.
I've got to say, I thought this was a real ride. Do you want to have a guess at the film this reminded me most of? In terms of production? Huh?
Margin Call.
Not seen it. We've done it on the pod.
Ooh.
There were so many similarities, and the pacing, and also, do you know what?
Da Vinci Code? No.
The feeling it gives me when I watch it, sort of how excited and long, excited and long for the ride with these films. I am.
So After Sun?
After Sun? No.
Seems a bit odd. I'm just going through the ones you absolutely adore. Polar Express? No.
No. There's people. There's maybe a person. I mean, possibly someone is shouting
out
at
Shout out home.
Shaky cam, fast, snappy, stylish,
American
ride.
made?
Yes,
What?
overblown. So think about the overblown multiple agencies scene in American Made, right? Where that's not how it happened, yeah? But they just want to demonstrate that lots of agencies are after him, so they take like this cool, stylish route to go for it and then cut away with a bit of exposition to camera. That's got Big Short all over it. They're constantly going, that's not exactly how it happened, but it gets the point across, blah, 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 blah. Or sometimes they'll turn around and go, he did actually do that. Mark Baum did actually say that and do this.
Yeah. So I think the difference between American Made and this is, and it's one of the things I kind of disliked about it, where, where it's like it's trying to be a bit too clever for its own good. It's just like, well, it didn't really happen like this. Actually, this is what happened.
Oh, right, okay.
It's just like, why are you calling it out? Just like...
No, it's a good point to jump in on. Then something you said in your opening statement. You said this was condescending. I thought the opposite, because I thought this continually went, this is a load of bullshit. You don't need to understand it because it's all made up nonsense anyway. So don't worry about it. Like, they literally says to you, confused? You should be, because they call these things, these terms, to confuse you, to make it sound like there's something clever going on here, when actually it's just all smoke and mirrors.
And talking all over my 3 points that I have in plot, but fuck it. So, come back to that. So, do you need to understand it to enjoy it?
I don't think so, no.
So, if no, why did they try so hard to explain it then?
Well, it's. I think there's a couple of things there. I think you can go, if you want to, if that's the way you want, you can get into it, and there's a bit of an explainer there. Like I say, I knew nothing about the ins and outs of the financial crisis, so I found it very interesting on that front. Also, I think it's just leaning into this snappy, fast-paced thing, and I think it works to go, even if you're not completely following it, you need to appreciate how many layers upon layers upon layers of bullshit there are here. And...
yeah, I mean, I guess that's true, right? So even if you don't actually understand all of the things about the different subprime mortgages going back to it, you basically say, like, look, it's really messed up.
Exactly, and that's why they keep cutting to camera and going, yeah, this is as fucked as it sounds.
Yeah, yeah. So
The point I'd like to focus in and argue with you on is I don't think that's condescending to you. I don't think it's trying to make you feel dumb. I think it's trying to show you the scale of bullshit that these con artists have put together.
Yeah,
I think that's what that's doing. So I love it. It's a ride, and I am properly on side with going, this is a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I think it's the bringing in the cameo explanations,
which is like his pieces to camera in American Made.
Well, yeah, but he's actually recording something. Then that's not breaking the fourth
wall. We talked about
device.
That being like a plot device as a way to basically just get away with breaking the fourth wall.
Yes.
Right? We talked about that in the episode.
So, what do you think about just breaking the fourth wall straight out, as they do here?
It's entirely context dependent. So, in something like On Her Majesty's Secret Service, this never happened to the other fella. Like, what the fuck are you doing, lads? You have just cut George Lazenby off at the knees.
Yes.
He's got no chance now.
I'm not Sean Connery.
Yeah, how is he going to follow Sean Connery after you've just done that, honestly? But here, I'm all for it, because they are acknowledging that, look, this is ridiculous and complicated, so we're going to talk to you directly. And of course, they're trying to be entertaining, and that's a deliberate thing. They're trying to lean into that, which is why you're getting Margot Robbie in a bath.
Hey, look, I'm not going to complain about Margot Robbie in a bath.
Which is why you're getting Anthony Bourdain.
Apparently, I'm meant to know.
You don't know Anthony Bourdain?
Do I know Anthony Bourdain?
Oh, my word.
The chef guy?
Well, the chef guy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Made some of the best travel TV going.
You eating any of his food?
No.
What's the point then?
What do you mean, what's the point?
Well, he's a chef.
Okay, let's move on before I stop being angry at the bankers and start being angry at you.
Oh, this could be a new tactic. I just get you like blind with rage and try and confuse you in that way somehow. Where you're just like, I can't formulate an actual point because I'm just so angry.
Yeah. Well, that's like what happened with Whiplash, isn't it? But
yeah.
Only you didn't get me angry. The film did.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it just went over 3 hours. We don't want that to happen.
Yeah. No. So I enjoyed it all. I like it. I was just proper in for the tone of this. I was along for the ride.
So, the breaking the fourth wall, right, where it literally turning to the camera and talking to the camera.
Yeah.
You've got that, but you've also got the voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you've got the Gosling voiceover. Now, I've made clear my views on the voiceover. I'm assuming voiceover...
You say made clear. I would say lied about.
I have talked about voiceovers many times on this podcast. I'm yet to take an actual firm view. I either really don't like it or if it suits...
Yeah, because for a
really
while
well.
it did seem like you'd lied initially, but you hated them. But then you've thrown out some exceptions recently, haven't you? So,
So I think my point here, maybe this week, is that if you do the breaking the fourth wall, turning to camera thing, you either do that, or you do the voiceover.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do both. And I think in this case, I would not do the breaking the fourth wall. I would do the voiceover that is explaining and doing that. And you can use it. Oh, that's thingy. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry if you don't understand this. Blah, blah, blah. But when you got the actual character in it, it somewhat undermines some of the other sort of production choices, which brings me on to how it looks, right? So they're going for, quite often, a very sort of real style.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making air quotes here. Real.
Yeah. Like you're in the office with them. So,
So there's shaky cam, strange sort of transitions between characters as the conversation moves. So it's almost like fly on the wall style of thing.
Yeah.
But then that's sort of undermined by that choice of them breaking the fourth wall, and it's just like, well, are we in it? Are we not in it? Whereas I think if the voiceover was there, that's very documentary-ish anyway, isn't it? Because you get a voiceover explaining what's happening and giving context to it, and you could have done that, and it would have, I don't know, it took me out of it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I was all aboard for the all aboard. I was on board with all aboard.
Yeah.
About a train, apparently.
Yeah.
Bullet train. Check our feed.
Oui.
I was on board for the realism side of it. If you're doing that, do it.
Yeah.
Don't do the other bit.
I get where you're coming from. I'm sure you can. I'm sure there's something in that sort of inconsistency side of it and all the rest of it. I just come back to it's such a ride, and I was so in for this ride, I wasn't stopping to think about those things. I was sort of happy. We talked a little bit about this before. How I'm like, okay, where's this film coming from? What's it going to do? And I was just happy that I'd sort of found my in, and it was like, we're just going. This is going pretty fast, and there's all this shit going on, and it's going to be complicated, and it's going to be sarcastic, and we're going to be angry. I was just like, yeah, do whatever you. Yeah, I'm in.
I do like your internal voice that you have a conversation with the film.
Okay, yeah.
What are we doing here?
And I think what you're sort of saying there makes some sense, and you could sort of then sit down and pick it apart. Is this effective? Should they have picked one? Fine, but I basically just accepted it. I'd gone, yeah, this is speaking my language. I'm loving the tone of this. Mm-hmm. I'm in it. We're on message together. Let's go. It's a wild ride. So yeah, I was. Brushed me by. It didn't take me out at all. It passed me by, that stuff.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from with the wild ride thing. I think I called out the pacing initially. I think the pacing is really good in this, and when it comes to, I think some of that's done with the score, but done in a really, I think it's done in quite a subtle way, because I don't really notice it, but I think it does actually contribute to that keeping a high pace, along with I think probably the editing and how it's done. It's I couldn't tell you the details of it because I don't know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
But to be able to do that, and you get the sense of a relentless switching and information overload side of things as well, and discovering different bits as you go on. So I think the pacing was a real positive. It was 2 hours. What did we say? 2 hours
19?
17? Something 10? 2 hours 10. And that it doesn't drag at any point because they're constantly moving with it.
That's it. And my other production note is just on music, which is absolutely fantastic, thanks to Dr. Michael Burry and his taste for heavy metal. We've got Metallica in there, some Pantera, some Mastodon. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, the drum solo was Pantera, wasn't it?
Yeah, just really good. Well, he played drums.
He
played drums a couple of times, didn't he?
Did he?
A couple of songs.
Just in his garage or whatever, that one.
Oh, that one, yeah. But I can't even remember which song that was now, to be honest. That might have been Mastodon.
I say it's Pantera because, like, I fucking recognised it. No, I just read that that's what it was. And that might even be wrong. Who knows?
Yeah, no, fantastic. Good. Liked it.
What did you make of the pop culture snapshots that sort of flash up in between scenes or acts? I don't know. Who knows? That they kind of had that sort of position you with it.
Again, I'm going to say very American made. Those little, have we ever ride through history and just these little things that drop in? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I thought they were going for, and it situates you in the time, right? Because it's essentially a period piece, right?
It was a big event in history, right?
Yeah,
It affected
it's
us
got
all.
to take you there,
Yeah.
and it's difficult, particularly for us, because we think of 2007, 2008.
Yesterday.
Well, either yesterday or when you think of that happening, you go like, well, that was actually ages ago, right? But I'm still young, so it can't have been that long ago.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. Whereas when you bring up those things, oh shit, yeah, okay, that was quite a while ago.
Yeah, life was actually a little bit different then.
Yes. But again, I think it contributed a little bit to that clash of styles of like.
Well, the haircuts and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Different.
But it contributed to that clash of styles, I think, which unsettled me. That's probably like the term I think that is most thing, that it just sort of didn't quite.
I think that's a great word, and I would cite that as why I like it, because it is perhaps deliberately unsettling.
Yeah, potentially right. Yeah.
And it, again, it sits nicely with my idea of just being pulled along this wide ride. Good. All right, I haven't got anything else on production.
I've got plenty. So it was nominated for editing. We've talked about how it was edited. Now, we don't know what we're talking about with that, but we get a sense of how the kind of thing it creates is. It was nominated for an Oscar for editing. Lost out to Mad Max Fury Road, which I don't think you've seen.
No, not seen it.
You should see it. It's really good. I think it's I was going to say it's a much better film. It's not a much better film than this. I enjoyed it a lot more than this. And I think it's maybe one of those films where you could see how the editing actually has been rewarded. I mean, yawning as I'm talking.
Well, that would be true of here as well, though, right? Because it's contributing to. You're talking about the pacing.
Yeah, exactly. This is why when it's a rare one where you go like, oh, editing. Yes, I see that here. Yeah. I can see why it's been nominated. Yeah. It's been edited in a way that has an effect. It also got a nomination for adapted screenplay, and it was its sole Oscar win of that. What did you make of the kind of script? The actual dialogue, I guess, between the characters, because it's quite dialogue heavy, right?
It is quite dialogue heavy.
Talking to each other.
Snappy, liked it. Smart, yeah, good.
No, it's not like a load of really memorable lines.
Well, a lot of the best lines were like insults, stuff like that.
But there's no like zingers that you're just like, oh yeah, I can use that and things like that. Like,
I don't know. It's time to call bullshit. Bullshit on what? Every fucking thing. Which is right. It is all bullshit. It is built on fucking sand.
It is. I mean, I think the thing that appealed to me with the screenplay is that the dialogue feels entirely believable, that this bunch of arseholes would be saying to each other.
Yeah.
Entirely like how they would communicate, which is kind of in a brash. You could, in your place of work, you could not communicate with people in that way and get away with it mostly.
Well, Rafe Spall's...
Not many I was working with you, and that was fine.
Rafe Spall's brilliant in that scene where they're interviewing the douchebag mortgage brokers or having the FaceTime with them. And he's just like, he keeps smiling at them and indulging them before moving back. And says, you have a boat? Yeah, but seriously, what the fuck are you doing? And he turns around to Mark Baum afterwards, doesn't he? Baum. And he's just, I don't get it. Like, why are they confessing?
It's they're not confessing, they're bragging.
They're bragging. They just don't see it. Arseholes don't realise they're arseholes.
That was actually a great line.
Yeah,
I take it back. That is good.
Yeah, honestly, mate, I think we could probably comb through it and find loads. And I think that goes back to what you just saying, like completely believable dialogue that you can imagine all these fucking pricks saying to each other.
Yeah, for sure. As we are wont to do now, talk about the title. The Big Short. Is that an oxymoron? Big short.
No,
big
I think short is a. Ooh,
you'd know.
It's a noun. I'd know.
I don't know. I'm just going for length, short in length.
Yeah. Okay. Right. I suppose.
It's a cock joke.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Just to be clear. Small penis.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mine.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean,
right. Okay. Yeah.
I can't talk, but yes.
Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Don't care. Well, just like, yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah, but is that an oxymoron? I mean, yeah, if you like.
is that why it works as a title? Because I think it is quite effective as a title, right? The Big Short.
Yeah.
Because the short, no one knows what a short is.
No, that's true. That's
Right?
true. Yeah.
So if you just said the short, you'd be
Yeah.
like, huh? What? What do you mean the short? Short what? Short what? Short film? It's not fucking short. It's 2 hours 10. So the Big Short, the fact that it is oxymoron, I think it actually makes it a decent title. I mean, you could have called it Everything's Fucked, and that could have been an equally good title, probably less commercially successful.
Oh, do you know what? Everything's fucked with a teeth dip, wouldn't it?
With a teeth.
Yeah, that'd be teeth.
This is more the Jaws, is it?
Yeah, I suppose this is heading more towards Jaws. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
That's fine.
fair enough.
I feel like I'm
I
going to
always
stop
think-
talking about the title because
No,
every time I bring it up, you basically just go,
Well, that's because you make some
give a shit.
fucking like some flippant point about it, like because you're trying to make a joke. If you like,
Not a
mate.
joke.
It reminds me of The Big Sleep.
Because it's got big in it.
Yeah, like literally, The Big Sleep is a famous film title, right?
Yeah.
So when you say The Big, it's like, oh, what sleep? No, it's a Big Short. I don't know.
All right. That was successful. I'll do that again.
Yeah, good.
Last, did you know, you talked about the assistant for Ryan Gosling,
Yes.
played by Jeffrey Griffin. He was just an extra on set for a day,
Nice.
but he was pulled out of the crowd to play the assistant, Chris, and later he expanded to 2 weeks of filming and shared every scene with Ryan Gosling.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It might be bollocks, as always, but, you know, if it's true.
Well, it does
stuff.
also bring that quality to the screen, doesn't he? In that it's like, I'm
You don't
not
belong
sure
here.
I belong here. I've been pulled along for this ride. In the same way that he's like, look at his face. That's my quant. Is anything different about you? And then he turns like, yeah, this isn't. He just thinks that sounds good.
The bit I like most with him, you heard, do you smell that? And he's like, opportunity? No, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to play a game?
Are we seriously not going to
what? We're doing
acknowledge great lines like, I'm Jack to the tits?
Well, not in production, we were not going to do
When you talked about lines, it's like, okay, do you feel it? No. And then just hangs up. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's no pleasing you. Right, okay, a game. I'd love to play a game.
Okay, so today's game, Carl, is called The Big and Short of It. So it's a classic game of higher and lower.
Big and sleep of it.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to give you a starting height of an actor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I'm going to reveal the next one. You have to guess whether they are big or short. And yes, I know it should be taller or shorter, but fuck you, it doesn't work for the title.
No, it doesn't. No.
But first, of course, we just need a little introduction to warm us up for this. Are you ready for the little title song for this one?
Yes.
Carl likes big shorts and he cannot lie, but he is less tall than Si. Can he ID stars that are quite large and which wear Cuban heels? Let's have fun.
No, I lost that. What was the last bit?
Can he ID stars that I can't remember now? Let's try. Listen again.
Wear big shorts and wear Cuban heels or something like that.
Yeah, which ones are big and which ones wear
Right.
Cuban
Okay. Yeah.
heels.
Good. Yeah. No.
Yeah, let's
I
have-
like it.
let's
It's very
have
good.
fun.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyway, so we're going to start, Carl, where you always like to start. Number one,
Yes. Yes.
but
please.
also where you like to start with Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, star of films.
Little 5'7" Tom Cruise.
Star of films. Yes. Well, you don't get any points for guessing that.
Is it actually? Is he actually
It is 5'7".
Fucking gotcha. I am so pleased with that. Let me tell you.
So Tom Cruise, star of films such as The Mummy. Find that episode in our feed.
Ooh,
An
nice.
American Maid. Also find that episode in our feed. He's 1.7 meters, 5'7". Okay. And next we have friend of the show. Wasn't mentioned in the recasting. She'll be upset.
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt. Is she bigger or shorter than Tom
Well,
Cruise?
she's no Nicole Kidman, but she doesn't strike me as a small woman either. But then 5'7" is not necessarily small for a woman. I hate it already. It's too close. And then she'll always be wearing heels. So how do I know how fucking tall Emily Blunt is? I've never met the woman. Stanley Tucci's quite small. No, hang on, she's
That's
not.
his sister.
That's his
Her
sister.
sister.
Her sister, yeah.
Not his sister.
How
That's
tall
fine.
is she? We don't know.
What's her name? We don't know that either,
yeah,
apparently.
we forgot, didn't we? None of this information helps me at all. So, do I play the odds and say she's a woman, or do I go with my gut instinct, was that she's probably taller than Tom Cruise? No, she's a woman. She's shorter than Tom Cruise. Oh,
She
for
is
fuck's
bigger
sake.
by 1 centimeter. She's also 1.71 meters tall, according to Google. I mean, I can claim no accuracy for this.
I've failed already.
That's fine. So we've got a new benchmark. We've got Emily Blunt, 1.71 meters. Ewan McGregor, star of Moulin Rouge. Find the episode in our feed. Is he bigger or shorter than Emily Blunt?
No, he's not a tall guy either, is he?
I couldn't possibly say. I will shortly, but not right now.
Let's go taller.
He is bigger. Come on, play the game.
Oh, sorry, bigger. Yeah,
Thank you.
Bigger, yeah.
He is bigger, 1.77 meters, 5'10".
Okay, well,
So not tall man, but he's not a short man.
No,
5'10",
that's
fine.
about average, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, Ryan Gosling. He's in this film. Check our feet. Wait, you're
Is he
listening to it.
deceptively tall? No, let's go. He's shorter.
You think he's shorter than 5'10", Ryan Gosling?
Yeah.
He is bigger. He's 6 foot, 1.84
okay.
meters.
Okay.
Oh, it's not a good start, Carl.
No,
Not a
I
good
mean,
start.
fucking hell, shambles.
Right. So now we've got Ryan Gosling, 6 foot. Brad Pitt, star of
Oh, for God's sake.
Bullet Train, The Mexican, Ad Astra, all available in our feed.
I was hoping we'd be flitting from like fucking
That'll make it
Dave
easy for
Bautista
you.
to Danny DeVito.
I did have Peter Dinklage in this at one
Yeah,
point.
like throw him in.
There, whereas we haven't covered any of his films so
All
far.
right, so 6 foot. Who are we going to? Who's it now?
Brad Pitt.
Oh, for God's sake. Let's say he's like 6'1", 6'2", so bigger Brad Pitt.
He is shorter. He's
For God's sake.
5'11", 1.8 meters. It's not going well. Okay, next we moved it. This one's an easier one. Ben Affleck.
Oh, he's tall. He's like 6'4". or
Yeah,
something
star
like
of Gone Girl. Check our feeds.
that. Nice, yeah.
So you're saying bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Bigger.
he's 1.92, 6'4".
Yeah.
Big man. Big man, Ben.
Yeah.
Big
With
Ben,
the
you may
villainous
call him.
chin.
Villainous chin, indeed. Okay, next we move to Brian Tyree Henry in Bullet Train. Check our feed.
He can't be taller than 6'4", because he'd be a fucking big old unit if he was. Let's go shorter.
He is shorter. Well done. He's back on track. He's back. He's back there. He is 1.88 meters, 6'2".
Still pretty tall.
Yeah,
Fucking
quite
hell.
tall. Yeah. Now, Michael B. Jordan, star of Sinners. Check our feed.
I think
You
he's
can-
6'1", so let's go shorter.
He is short. He's 6 foot, 1.83 meters. So you're doing all right. And now, Aaron Taylor Johnson, star of Tenet. Kick-Ass.
I think he's
Bullet
shorter.
Train.
Let's go
Check our
shorter,
feed.
yeah.
He is shorter, 1.8 meters, 5'11".
Yeah.
He's on a roll now. He's on a roll. And next, we're going to mix this up. Tilda Swinton. She's not starred in any of our films.
Yeah, shorter. She can't be taller than 5'11".
She is short. She's 5'10", 1.78 meters. And we're finishing off number 10 here. Nicole Kidman, star of Moulin Rouge and Baby,
Well, she
and
was
Baby Girl. That's not right.
famously
Yeah, Baby
taller
Girl.
than
Check our feed.
Tom Cruise. I think she's north of 6 foot. But then what you would do here is you'd try to fuck me over, so you'd go with one that's the same. So, shake your head in consternation.
Can't do the same. Is it bigger or shorter?
Yeah, I know you shouldn't, right?
We'll get them back to back and we'll get
cheek of it. Like, I wouldn't do that. Would you not? Yeah, let's go. She's taller, bigger.
She is bigger, 1.8 meters, 5'11".
Yeah.
So yeah, big 4 inches on Tom Cruise there. So well done. You picked it up at the end. You had a good run at the end. Well done. But yeah, you struggled at the start, Carl.
Yeah, I wouldn't anybody would have.
But no anger though.
Well,
You didn't storm off the set.
not outwardly.
Which is we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the plot then, Carl. And you'll be pleased to know that I've covered half of my points from the plot in production because we're all over the shop.
Yes.
Where do you want to start with the plot?
Let's start with the comparison to Don't Look Up.
Right, yeah. So you're going to have to remind me. I have seen this film.
Yeah.
Don't Look Up, I should say. But not for a while. I watched it when it first came out on Netflix, right? So it was a Netflix film? Anything to remember?
Yeah, maybe. Don't know. I think, whereas I really like the ride of this, I like the snappy point, I like the commentary it makes, I like the satire. I'm in for everything with this film. Don't Look Up was hot dogged it. And it was so disappointing because you go from the makers of The Big Short, which they had plastered all over the shit for it. And ostensibly, this is a very similar film because they're taking a really serious point, climate change in Don't Look Up. And they are trying to show you how ridiculous it is that nobody takes it seriously and they get away with it and all the rest of it. And where this is so good and Don't Look Up absolutely fails is this just doesn't pull its punches. This shows you that the whole thing is built on bullshit. This shows you that these people are absolute cunts in it. And I know there's a second degree of cunt because of the people profiting off it, shorting it, are also part of the problem.
Yeah.
And that they're making money but they are feeding into an overall bigger problem, right? They're profiting off an overall bigger
And
problem.
to be fair, they do actually call out that hypocrisy, right? Female character number 2 of the film
Yeah, right.
does point that out.
And that's why people like Burry's character and Baum's character are so crucial, because they have a bit of humanity in there, and they are going. Baum just wants to stick it to the bank. Like, he genuinely wants to stick it to the banks, and he genuinely laments the fact that people are going to lose their homes for this. And he says as much. He goes like, they'll get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking taxman will bail them out. We will blame immigrants and poor people, which is exactly what happened. And what always happens when society hits the fucking skids and everybody's poor. And it'll happen again. And it has. They've started. It says in the film, doesn't it? A year later, they started offering these rebadged collateral debt obligations and all the rest of it. So this is so good at that, because it doesn't pull its punches, and it says these are the cunts to blame. It's all built on bullshit, and it's quite a bleak message. I love that, because I want my satire to be fucking unflinching, right? The big Don't Look Up is ridiculous, because it leans into the far side of it, and it ends up doing things like, oh, it's the newsreader's fault for not taking this seriously enough, and why are they not listening to me?
This film has left no impression on me.
As if it's because as if the newsreaders are at fault for governments not taking the right action, you know. And then it gives the rich people in the film, it gives them a kind of comedy ending where they go to another planet, but then they get eaten by whatever's on this planet. Seriously, and it's silly. It's like, but it's not silly. But this issue is not silly, and it will result in the destruction of our planet. And where The Big Short gets that so right, Don't Look Up fails.
And I think that's where I kind of wanted it to be more on that boundary of depressing and extreme. And you're right, it doesn't pull its punches in highlighting it, but I guess the reason it does it is to make it a bit more accessible and fun, right? To add the cameos explaining things, to add the breaking the fourth wall and things. But actually, I think I would have been more on board with the complete docu-style thing where they're going in and they're showing it and they're doing it, and it's
there is a more
serious
serious film to be made about this issue.
And maybe if Adam McKay doesn't make it, maybe.
Yeah, there is, for sure. I agree with that. But
I think I would have been more on board with it. Weirdly.
Yeah, and I understand that. But I was very here for this wild-eyed, quite vicious at times, almost nihilistic in that it's all fucked and there's nothing to do but make some money out of it, sort of thing.
You know, nihilistic's one of those words. Never know what it means.
But we believe in nothing, Lebowski. Oh, nihilism. That must be exhausting. No? Nothing? Believe in nothing. They just... Oh, about a Nolan take on nihilism. Because some men just want to watch the world burn. No?
Okay, right. Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. One question I have for you. Is it fair to say that the film abandons character and personal stories for the macro narrative and telling of that?
Have you been reading the review?
That was my own words.
Well,
sounded intelligent, didn't it?
It did sound intelligent. It did. That's why I thought it
did.
It wasn't you. Yeah, probably. It's veered from realism in those individual stories, I'm sure, because it's leaning into the sort of the tone and overblownness and sarcasm and irony of it all, sort of thing. Yeah,
because there are a few touching depictions of people actually impacted by all this bullshit, right?
Yeah.
But it's only quite brief and on the periphery of it. It's very much focused on the characters that are within the mess, that are either contributing to the mess or are kind of trying to reveal it and profit from it as well. At the same time, as we've said, it's kind of a bit of a confusing thing of just like you're kind of supporting these characters, but actually they're not exactly innocent in this all as well.
Yeah,
which we like, not
we do.
white things. This is good.
It's a bit like I think of, it's one of the thoughts that I came away from Oppenheimer with. Is you sort of realise, I think, coming out of that film, whether he's good or bad or not is not the point. Because it's going to be someone.
Why did she have to be naked?
yeah. You know, it's in that film. It's like it's going to be someone. At the end of the day, the problem in there is the political machinations of everything that's going on, and it's how it gets used, and that's nothing to do with him. And it's kind of similar here. It's like for these guys, they have varying degrees of motivations, varying motivations, and they are varying degrees of arsehole. But the real problem is the fucking system. It's just built on bullshit.
Yeah,
it's
and
just...
I think Mark Baum says it best, right? Where Vinny says to him, like, we have I can never say the word for something responsibility.
Fiscal fiduciary.
Yeah, fiduciary. That's the word. Responsibility.
Yeah.
And he's just like, no,
Yeah.
no one is acting responsible.
And they're not.
Yeah. So the bit that I thought they tried to do a little bit. So Mark Baum has the slight diversion down the brother suicide thing. But I don't really feel how much that adds to. It's very much just sort of brushed, mentioned, and stuff, and it brings in Marissa Tomei as.
I'm with you on that because
it's like
he didn't actually have a brother that died. They changed that.
Oh,
he had a miscarried child.
All right.
So they changed that. The idea. So he did have
weird.
some personal grief, but they sort of requested that we don't want the actual grief to be on. But they've obviously made a deliberate decision to include some of that. And I think it comes back to this thing. Do I necessarily need the ins and outs? No, but what it does do is it does establish some pathos for the character, some pathos, which is for us to go, he is genuinely, he's not out to just make money. He is genuinely disillusioned with this. He's genuinely angry at the world.
But I think he gets that across without having to
maybe
explain
so.
that.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because he does it really, does it really well. Where he's just like, and even when he's doing the, I love my job. I love my job.
I love my job.
My
No,
job.
you hate. I love my job. Yeah.
And you're just like,
yeah. No, I agree. I'm sort of with you on that, but I do think it's that point of trying to get us to remember, like Burry with his confessions around how just not normal he is and how he doesn't fit in with lots of things. Just how actually these people are maybe not the arseholes that our anger should be directed towards. It's your people like Jared Vinette and the owner of the fund that Burry's working for, and then of course all the bankers and the brokers that are selling them the stuff. So yeah, and indeed the government as well. The FCC agency not being up to scratch, and how
there was the other one as well that was setting
the ratings agency.
Yeah.
Wearing, by the way, I quite like this. Wearing the fucking glasses.
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
Very literal depiction of how
blinded
and blinded they are. Right.
Yeah.
There was a couple of things like that where it was very, very deliberate. So, like when they were going, we need to get on this soon because otherwise every punk with 2 million in a hedge fund is going to be getting. Next scene, it's the two punks with their own hedge fund that they've started up.
Yeah.
And they're trying to sort of get on it. So, yeah, no, I like that stuff. And yeah, just showing how like they circle the wagons and they try to protect the industry and everything is really, really corrupt. And again, it just doesn't pull its punches. I don't know if I'm quite as cynical as Baum is at the end when he's going, they knew the taxpayer would bail them out. They weren't being dumb. I think they probably were dumb. But yeah, it's right. It's pretty bleak at the end of the day. It's built on bullshit. The taxpayer pays, and we all blame the immigrants and poor people when we should blame the people with the power and the money, the bankers, ultimately. Yeah. So yeah, like and of course the press won't report on it because it'll hurt the credibility. We have that in the plot as well, where he goes to his mate.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean you won't
mate from university?
You won't report on it because it'll hurt your contacts that you've built up. It's like they're fucking.
I did quite enjoy the little exchange there. It's exactly how you could imagine that would happen. Like, yeah, no one fucking liked you, and
yeah.
or as an asshole. Yeah. So, like, really great to see you again.
Yeah,
still in with your mum. All right.
Yeah. No, so I liked it. Like I say, it gets me excitedly angry at all the right people. I think the plot is smart. I don't find it condescending because I think the point of it is, if you feel dumb, as the film tells you, that's because you're supposed to. because the industry has been set up to make you feel dumb. And I think it does a really good job of building throughout the plot the levels of bullshit. And it's not until quite late on that we get the, whoa, hang on a minute, the synthetic CDOs. So you're telling me that they've taken these bullshit bonds and they package them together, and now there's even another product that's not even real.
Is that when Carell's really
He's really losing
bubbling,
it at that, yeah.
really bubbling.
And they end up revealing that there's more money, because let's take a backward step. When they're betting and investing and selling these bonds, it's not even a commodity. They're not like trading in a company. They're not buying shares in a company, and that company does something, and if it performs well, they'll make a profit. They are literally betting money against money. They're trying to profit out of money. There's not even a real thing here. And then he finds out that basically there's layers of it, and it's money against money against money against money, and there's more money out there than there is in the thing in the first place, which in itself isn't even a real commodity. It's a made up thing. So yeah, I think the plot does a really good job of building that, and of course all the corruption as they fucking circle the wagons.
And I think that was one of the more successful cameo explanations in actually explaining it, was a Selena
the side
Gomez
bets
one.
and
exactly.
Yeah.
You go, oh, okay. I still don't understand it, but I kind of get the principle of it.
Exactly that. All you need to get is that there's more money in play at the side of the tables than there is on the outcome of the actual bet on the table.
Cool.
And it's like, well, that's
Mental.
crazy. It's like, yeah, and that's what governs everything: the price of your food, the price of your mortgage, your pension that you're gonna get. What happens if that collapses? Bad times. Yeah.
You got anything else on production?
We're on plot, mate.
You got anything else on plot? Time flies.
No, look, I just love it. I think it's smart. I think it builds well, and it puts the villains right in the crosshairs. Good.
Okay, we move on to any changes. So a section where we each come up with up to 3 changes. Now, Carl, you're going to have no changes, right?
Look, I love this film. I do have one, but it's not a big one.
I've got 2. What's your one?
The cringy English pub scene.
Yeah.
Now,
is that because we're British, though?
Yeah. Now, I couldn't find exactly who those people were, because I'm like, are they the most convincing accents? Are they American?
I think they probably were British.
Yeah, and I think I did find one name, and it didn't say where he was born, but it seemed he'd worked in England early.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. But overall, that scene was just a bit like, okay.
Yeah.
Why is that in there?
You get why it's there in terms of there's already kind of like a dislike and hatred of bankers or mistrust of bankers and things like that. I guess you're throwing that in there. I think it's the fact that it's, I don't know, it always feels awkward when it's American in England and things like that, but it just feels, as I say, it feels a bit cringy.
Yeah.
I hadn't called that out. Good call, though. So my first one is fourth wall break or voiceover, not both. Pick one. I honestly think that would help, and I think I would actually go with the voiceover, which is completely on brand and consistent with everything I've said before.
Yeah.
But my second one is again.
Does that mean you can do the segments though, like your Anthony Bourdain segment? Usually, goes. Can you have those? Are you just talking about? I don't want Jared Vanette turning to the camera.
Yeah, I don't want him to. He's the only one that does it, right? I think.
No, his Quant does it as well.
Does he?
Yeah, his Quant turns around and goes, "I'm not Chinese."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, I don't need it. I don't know a bit. The scenes, like the cameo explanations, I get why. I get why they're there, but it kind of leads into my second point, which is you pick a style. So you go gritty, realistic with the shaky cam and fly on the wall style of things, and you can still do the pace of that, and you can still do very much most of what the film appears, or you can go comedic, emphasizing the ridiculous nature of it all through doing these weird explainers of it. And again, I think just the mishmash of it just again unsettles me a little bit. they are quite effective. That's the problem. In
how do you then recreate that same thing? Yeah.
So you didn't have to get celebrity cameos to do it, right? You can get people explaining it to other people somehow, but that doesn't work necessarily because you then have characters explain it to characters who already know and understand it. So that doesn't really make any sense.
This is what I like about those, because
where...
it's so obviously exposition.
Yeah.
That they are fully acknowledging that. They're going like, this is exposition, mate, so we're going to have a bit of fun with it. Whereas I think if they do, like you say, characters explain to characters, so we go, "Ooh, that was cringy exposition, wasn't it?"
Yeah. No, I think I kind of agree. I think, fine, you can keep that as a side thing with the voiceover explaining it.
But you draw the line at Ryan Gosling turning to camera.
Yeah, and his quant.
And his quant, yeah. My quantitative.
So yeah, there's my 2.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, Carl, you ready to move on to This Is Why You're Wrong?
Yep.
Okay, do you want to go first or do you want to go second?
I'll go first. Look, you haven't said loads of things that you dislike about this film.
That's because I'm ambivalent.
Makes perfect sense. I think you qualified that, didn't you? Weirdly, but yeah, it makes perfect sense. I do think you are a little bit wrong, as we've just been exploring a little bit on the thing. Now, I get your point. Are they inconsistent in the plot device they've chosen? Sure, I get it. Does that mean they are inconsistent in style? I would say no. I would say it's slightly different because it didn't occur to me at all. I was completely in it because I thought the style was fairly consistent. And whilst we might be able to sort of pick over the details of, but they've used a different plot device here, and maybe they should. I'm like, I didn't notice, mate. So I just think it's a wild ride. It's smartly plotted. It's fast paced. It is very effective, I think, at showing you that it's bullshit and who the bad guys are. And so I come out of it, like I say, very excitedly hating on all the people I should be hating. So it really works for me.
I have to say, you've kept your anger in check as well. The anger hasn't bubbled over.
I keep qualifying it with excited. You see, like
excitedly.
I fucking love hating these cunts, the fucking bankers. Like,
I mean, as I said at the start, throughout, it's very well acted. Right, Carell, I thought was particularly good.
Yeah, it's great.
The pacing is excellent. The problem is on not on initial watch, on rewatch as well. It kind of left me a little bit. I was feeling a bit generally angry at the situation, but what I lacked was like the connection with the characters within it, and I think that's why it left me a little bit meh. But although I think it's maybe trying to be a bit too clever for its own good, and I think it maybe thinks it's cooler than it is with that admission of taking creative liberty as part of the voiceover. I think it's very effective in what it does. So it could have gone down a gritty option and say just dispense with all of that stuff and just be like a thing. It probably would have been a less effective and less popular film doing that because it would have been less accessible.
Yeah, that's fun as well.
Yeah. So I think in terms of what it's achieved, I think it's very successful in doing that. Talking through it now, like there's a lot of positives to it. There's the negatives that I've got are more, different areas that different angles you could have gone down. Are they enough to actually say that I don't like it when you can clearly see how well made a film it is and how well acted it is? It effectively made me angry.
Steve Carell. You did like Steve Carell.
I do like Steve Carell. I did like Steve Carell. So I'm prepared to say that.
Are you prepared to say?
You've convinced me.
Well, I don't even want it now. I'm prepared to say. No, you stay ambivalent.
No, I really like it. Fuck you.
No, mate, you do. You do or you don't. Let's get rid of this fucking. You prepared to? Let you throw me a fucking bone, will you? Hey.
No, I think I like what it's doing. I'm prepared to say that I like it. You have convinced me.
Good. All right.
Of that. Well done.
Yeah.
My needle has been moved feed. Carl, you got anything else you want to
No, I'm
pick
good.
me up on? You
I'm
happy with the needle move? You good?
I'm delighted
Yeah?
with the needle move in principle.
Good.
Uh,
All right, well, that is all we've got for this week. So if we moved the needle for you, or even if we didn't, please do rate us, follow, and subscribe, and give us a 5-star review wherever you are listening. It really does big up the algorithm and get us out there to a larger, shorter audience.
I mean, look, I know you love it when I interrupt you, but the hypocrisy on me, having utterly refused to give you a needle move on the Da Vinci Code
Outrageous.
and taking a full, peek behind the curtain. I was away for 2 weeks.
Took 2 weeks to
before
come
we
round.
came. Well, I'd come round, but you didn't know that. To finally, I'm sorry, mate. I should have moved. But yeah, there we go.
Well, there we go. See, I'm straight out there with the move.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to it. Our Bluesky, Instagram and Twitter is MTN MoviePod. YouTube channel is at Movie the Needle. And you can also find our page on Facebook and some occasional TikToks at movie.the.needle. All details are in the show description, so please do follow and comment wherever you are. We do love to hear from you. So for me and Carl, it's goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'm off to become a stripper so I can get a mortgage on 5 houses I can't afford. But at least it should at least fund that boob job I've been after. Join us next week as we discuss an old classic in Casablanca and we see whether we can movie the needle for each other. Goodbye.